This is the Campfire Council with Thunder Hands, campfire-council.com. So today we're going to talk about weather modification because I'm experiencing it big time right now. Many people are in the United States, probably all over the world. And by weather modification, I mean technology that they use. I'm going to go over this real quick. I think I've gone over it before, but there's a huge facility. Well, there's several huge facilities with radio beams. One's in Alaska. It's called HAARP, HAARP. And they say, oh, we're just doing weather seeding and this and that. But what they do, and in conjunction with what they do, is use NEXRAD, which is another radar pulse mechanism. See, I used to be a certified meteorologist at one time because being a pilot, I also was involved in aviation and other fields like managing small airlines and putting together a weather station and certifying airports and stuff like that. Previous life. Long story. But I know what I'm talking about in case anybody questions me on this. So we have radar, okay? And radar shows different things. If you're in an airplane, you look at it to see, where you are and where the cloud formations are and thunderstorms so you can circumnavigate them. Now, if you're just looking at radar, let's say in Telecast is a good, telecast.com has a good map. And there are other ways to look, and there are other sources that you can go to find this stuff out. If anybody thinks this isn't real, then you're delusional. So here I am sitting in San Diego, and it's 94 degrees, and it should be 70, 75, somewhere around there. No rain for, not to speak of, for a year. And right now we got a huge weather pattern going on in the U.S., over the U.S., a swirling, kind of a counterclockwise, sucking up moisture from the south. And my son, who lives in Tennessee, dodged a tornado, had to go down to his basement. And it's the air in San Diego is just, I can't even describe it. It's like, I call it something ain't right here. End of the world air, earthquake air, whatever. It just doesn't feel right. And to have a stifling 94. Now see, I don't mind high temperatures when they're in the right location. Like in Arizona, if it's 94, then it's not so bad because it's dry. Okay. But when you got high heats on the coast, where you're supposed to have a cool ocean breeze, something wrong there. Plus, we got a winter that was no winter, no rain. Then we got rain later on when it was getting to be summer. They're messing with the weather. They're effing with the weather. And I got some pictures here to show you. So I'm going to go and flash this right now. Hopefully, there we go. Okay, see that right there, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is what is called, see how perfectly round that is? That's a HAARP ring. That's a radio beam that they bounce off the ionosphere, or that they cause any number of different ways. No storm is that circular, take it from me. And if that isn't impressive enough, oops, let me go to another one here. Hold on, folks. Okay, here's another one. Now look at that one. Does that look like a storm to you? I don't think so, especially when there's no clouds in the sky. These are called HARP rings, or radar rings, that are being pulsated by our government and other governments. Sometimes they call it weather wars. See, they try to hide it with terms like it's cloud seeding and it's... But yet, you know, in order for them to do this weather manipulation, they also spray what they call chemtrails, which people would think are vapor trails. They're not. Yeah, there's vapor trails up there, but there's chemtrails too, and they're full of aluminum oxide or some damn thing. And they actually bounce the radio beams off these. And so this is what's happening right now. And you know, people die and infrastructure is ruined and the planet is suffering because when you do this stuff, it knocks it out of its normal rhythm. Okay, you have the jet stream that flows down through a normal pattern. But when you get stuff like this, and I mean, you should see the cloud formations over the US right now, or a couple days ago. It was going counterclockwise and going backwards, okay, over the Midwest, or not the Midwest, but the Midwest, I guess, and towards the east and the southern states. And so we had this well, let's see, on the video it would be, never mind, circular counterclockwise situation going, sucking up tornadoes and all kinds of nasty weather from the Gulf and from the south, and creating a pocket to the west of superheat. Now, this isn't the first time they've done this. They did this with Sandy, that big storm on the East Coast, what, 2 years ago? I don't know, time flies. Which destroyed New York, practically. Now you might ask, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing a lot of insane things? I got my theories. Now, Thunder always says, I only can tell you what I know or what I've researched. And the things that I've researched are hair-raising. And so if it keeps going at this rate, it's going to disturb the Earth so much that the planet rebels, doesn't like it. And that will also cause problems because you got a natural force trying to overcome a unnatural force. And I mean, you should see some of these areas in the south that have been just completely devastated. It looks like a Hiroshima, like a nuclear bomb hit it. You gotta laugh about this stuff because I'd be crying right now. Because this affects mankind. And it, you know, and basically it pisses me off that they would do this. So let's get back to why they're doing it. Well, nobody knows really why they're doing it. Maybe they're, at first I thought, well, maybe they're practicing for weather wars, which they do all the time. Test it out here and then project it on other people in other countries like Russia or wherever, Iran. Because they can cause earthquakes with this too, when they bounce radio beams off the ionosphere at 1 billion watts per shot. The other theory is that uh, depopulation, but see, not that many people die. I mean, not maybe 20, 30 people will die with a tornado touchdown, and the infrastructure is being ruined. So I was talking to a friend recently, and she said, we were talking about this, and she said something that should have been obvious to me. It's like destabilization of people's sense of safety. In other words, putting a whole country or a third of a country into fear and anxiety. Well, what happens when you have fear and anxiety? Well, you're easily controllable. And you depend on other people like FEMA and the Red Cross, and they herd you into these big places for safety. Now that to me seems like a pretty obvious scenario. Let's get people used to being scared. Well, they try to do it with terrorism, they try to do it with other countries, they try to do it with... Now they're doing it in subliminal ways such as weather modification. These people are nuts. They should be hung. This is the kind of stuff that gets me, is like, why do this to your fellow man? What's the deal? Okay, and I'm saying outright right now to our government and every other government that's doing it is to knock it off, because you're going to be paying for this big time, and you're not going to escape whatever shitstorm comes down, either on a level of people rising up, or just you suffering from your own blowing up your own home, messing with it. So I'm putting you on notice right now that the indigenous ancestral spirits and your own karma are going to kick your ass for this. So be ready. Or better yet, don't be ready. Yeah, I know thunder gets a little, intense. But I don't like seeing anybody suffer, and when it involves my own family, again, having to go down into a basement because somebody else, not because of just natural weather. Look, I've been looking at the weather for years. I've been around a while. This is insane. I've never seen anything. Sure, there's been tornadoes and horrific hurricanes, but not... There's always a pattern. There's no pattern with this. There's no rhyme or reason. The seasons are changing, and the weather's changing, and summer's in the winter and winter's in the summer, and you got chemtrails and all this stuff. This is not only the only way there's, effing with the planet and us. I mean, they're doing all kinds of things in their little laboratories, sending out super bugs for people to get sick, experimenting on populations. Oh, you don't think they do that? It's documented. It's documented. Spraying aerosols over cities. Oh, I wonder how many people will get sick and die. So anyway, yep, Thunder's on his milk crate today. his soapbox, whatever. But this to me is just insanity. And another way they're doing it is fracking, blowing up stuff under the earth to get to oil. All this stuff I'm talking about today is messing with nature. You don't do that. Have these people got an ounce of brain in their head? Do they have any kind of moral compass or conscience? Or, you know, this technology could all be used for good things, great things. Inner technology is the best, though. Movement of energy, spirituality. I just do not have faith anymore in those who are running things. They shouldn't be running things. They need to be out of there. Just like when there was a chief in the tribe that messed up, the women threw him out because it was a matriarchal society. So, these people need to be out. We don't need governments in the first place. People could run the show better than these idiots. What about before the people came on the Mayflower? Tribal people were running the show pretty good here. Hunting and fishing and beautiful scenery and landscapes, and there wasn't a stream that was polluted. You could go right up and just drink out of it. Now you would die. I hope people wake up to the fact that nature is everything. Nature is everything. And when you mess with that, you're messing with your home. It's like, you know, destroying your own house. It would be like taking a sledgehammer and going around bashing your house till everything was in a shambles, or spraying toxic aerosols inside your house. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's breathe that. Let's put a couple of sticks of dynamite underneath the floor here, Melba. Light that fuse. Blow that puppy up. Boom. Fracking. That's what they do but they do it with water. They pump water down into the ground and with chemicals in it. I mean, shit, some people turn on their faucets and this methane gas comes out, and they can take a lighter and light it on fire. Hey, let's drink that water. And then you got, you know, you got other ways that they're messing with nature too, like modification of corn, GMOs, that type of thing. And you know, all this fat-free stuff you see that you go to the market, fat-free, I don't want fat-free, I want real food. Give me the fat. Don't put that modified cornstarch in there. See, you got to look at the labels pretty close, because there's cornstarch and then there's modified cornstarch. If you see the word modified, it means genetically altered. Okay, and a lot of that stuff is in low-fat stuff. What happened to real food? You know, when I was a kid, we went to a place called Farm Fresh Market. in Arizona. I'll never forget it. Come to think of it, that place burned down. But anyway, that's beside the point. It was a big market, and then the farm fresh, I mean, the farmers just brought in all their food from everywhere. I mean, that was real food, folks. Lettuce, tomatoes, cabbage, carrots. And then they sold other, they sold canned goods and stuff too, but and then you had real bakery products. I mean, hell, the stuff you get today at the super tastes like cardboard. What is this, cardboard? Yum. So that's why, one of the precepts, or one of the objects of the Campfire Council, which is who I represent, a non-profit charitable corporation under the heading of religious, but we're actually sacred and educational. We're trying to educate people as well as help people too. Things are starting, this organization is starting to grow wings because people have a kind enough heart to where they're starting to support it in different ways, monetarily and others. But we're here to re-educate people, just like I'm re-educating and telling you what's going on now. And to kind of snap people out of their brainwashed, hypnotized patterns that they're in, to where they don't pay much attention to this stuff, or they ignore it, or you can't ignore your home. You want to ignore someone else or a person or something, yeah, fine. But when we're talking about our home here, the planet, hello? So anyway, back to when I was a kid, farm fresh food. And they had chemicals back then, and they had this stuff called DDT. But now that I look back on it, that didn't really hurt us that much. But they outlawed that. Now, why did they outlaw that and then come in with other chemicals that were like 10 times worse than that? And these crop dusters, they spray some nasty shit, okay, on the produce. We're killing bugs. Yeah, you're killing bugs, all right. You're killing the bees that carry pollen from flower to flower, or that pollinate everything we eat, basically. Some of these new pesticides kill bees. The bee population is dwindling. Wonderful. What are we going to have? Drone bees? I think they already might have those. Anyway, no, actually they do have drones the size of large bumblebees, if you can believe that. Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. Those were shows that I used to watch and thought, wow, this is far out. But it looks like it could happen. That's irrespective of the visions that I had when I was a kid and saw all this stuff in the first place and went, let me out of here. I don't want to go. I don't want to go there. Gotta tell people now. But see, nobody believes a lot of this stuff because they've been conditioned. Reliance, complacency. The Campfire Council is here to eradicate that and to get next to nature and to help people in any way we can. And there will be a lot of ways. Feels good to help people, really does. And at the same time you're helping yourself, so I would like you to go to the Campfire Council. Let's see, up here, no, I always get this up here somewhere, beep, it'll pop up, beep, campfirecouncil.com, and see, you can click on that link. You have to put your mouse on there, and then on that link is a little square with an arrow, and you click on that and you'll go right to Campfire Council website. And you're going to love it. And read the purpose, read the prospectus, read what about Campfire Council. Seriously, you'll like it. And the page is nice, and it's got my books on there. Listen to the Wind, Speak from the Heart by Divine Arts, and Emergence. And it's got a newsletter and an email if you want to email me about any specific ways that you can support this effort. Volunteer or any other way. And last but not least, you have the donation button, which if you have an extra $5 or $10, hit it and send it to me, or to us, I should say, the Campfire Council. Now, it is tax deductible, by the way, so thought I'd mention that. Well, I hope that that I got through to some people today with this, but I do spur of the moment videos when things happen that I see. This is just the tip of the iceberg, no pun intended, which is melting too. It's the tip of the iceberg, people. I mean, you can't deny what's around you. You can't deny things that are proven facts. And there's a lot of trolls out there, man, government people and stuff that try to debunk this stuff. They're paid, okay? And if you talk about this stuff and you try to put it on Facebook, you can have 4,000 friends, which I do on Facebook, and you can put a video like this up there, and it's like they censor it. If I just put a picture, let's say, of a Native American, or a cool picture with no links on it or no messages or whatever, then 100 people out of the 4,000, which still isn't enough. I mean, okay, so you have the 4,000 friends, and then you have so many followers. I think I have close to 1,000 followers. Yet when you put something up there, 10, 15 people respond. Hello? So Facebook is a big friggin' farce. Government tool. I use it, but for what? I mean, I might discontinue that too. But you can't get the word out, and if you're seeing this video, You're probably one of few. But some people I see, they get like 4,000 people watching their videos. It's like, how does that happen? Um, and I'll get like 100 or it's like you need to spread this word around if you see this video. If you believe in any of this stuff and you think that the planet's in dire shape and that it needs help and that this is a good way to get information from Thunder, just that alone, not even about the Campfire Council. But if you think that's good too, you need to share this video and like it and do all that stuff and send it to your friends on your Facebook page. If you like something and you want to perpetuate that thought, you need to share it. That's part of the solution here. Grassroots stuff. So please do that, you know. Okay, so I guess I'll end it there before everybody falls asleep. But I just want you to know that I really care about everybody and I have a principled love for everybody on the planet, even though half of them are hypnotized. It's not their fault. We're all hypnotized, believe me. We all have serious hypnosis problems, and it's just a matter of learning to overcome them some way. And there's ways. But I want you to know that, you know, I care about you. Blessings to you. I like that term namaste. I like that because you know, being in the martial arts or in the martial arts when we do this, you know, it's a bow, kind of like, so I bow to you and honor you people, and I'll talk to you next time around. Bye.